walking on sunshine. Woo. Hey, kia ora. Good morning, and welcome to another super fantastic, sparkling, Tune It Up Tuesday. Yes, that day of the week where we look and see what tweaks and changes we can make. And even though I got rudely awakened at 2:27 this morning, it is still a super fantastic, sparkling day. So what happened at 2:27 that got me a rudely awakened? Whichever way. I got rudely awaked. I woke up suddenly because of a noise. So I'm in bed, completely out to it. And the next thing I hear is this whop, whop, whop. And it's like banging on and it sounded like it was inside the bedroom. And I'm like, sit up, reaching for the light switch, hit the light switch. I'm calling for Zephy because one hand goes out this way, this hand goes to the light switch, this hand goes here, no Zephy. I'm now calling for Zephy. I sit bolt upright in bed. I'm looking around. Where the hell did that noise come from? Was it actually outside on the outside door? Was it but it sounded closer? Where was it? And then this dog peers at me from around the bottom of the bed as if to say, "What are you doing?" And I realized what had happened is that she had shaken her. She'd gotten off the bed, and she had shaken herself, but she was close to. I have a box sitting in the room that I got to take to storage. So she was standing close to that box, and that's what the thumping was. It was her whacking her tail against that as she shook herself vigorously to wake herself up or whatever. But it was her tail against this box, which created this horrendous noise that woke me up. And I just picked her up and I set her on the bed next to me and I just cuddled her. Like I picked up her front paws and I basically had her in an embrace. And she just went limp against me. And I was like, yes, I got that. So it was... yes, that was my rude awakening, and it took a while for the heart rate to get back to normal again. But she just sat there. Normally, she starts struggling after a few minutes. She just sat there. She knew that I needed her to make sure that she was okay, that I was okay, and that we were all okay, and everything was going to be fine. And so we eventually got back to bed. And then, of course, we got rudely awakened a couple hours later when the alarm clock went off. But that's okay because alarm clocks are good for when you oversleep when you have a busy day. So I just. I was like, what the heck is that noise? So that was my awakening at 2:27 because I looked at the alarm clock this morning to see what time it was. It was 2:27. Actually the clock said 2:32 a.m. But I keep forgetting that clock is it runs 5 minutes fast, so I keep forgetting that. So when I realized that that's what had happened, I made the adjustment to 2:27. It was actually 2:27. So. But anyway, you never know what's going to wake you up in the middle of the night, give you that jarring awakening or whatever. So, on that wonderful note, we're going to look at five. Hang on, that's my 6 hand. 5 easy ways to make your life more exciting. And I was like, ooh, what could we do with that? So, I'm going to read what we've written here. If you find yourself spending too much time with the television remote in your hand, or taking too many daytime naps, it could be that you are simply bored with the life you are living. Maybe you have a home that suits you and a job you like, yet you feel like something is missing. Yes, how many times have we had that sort of a feeling? Perhaps little by little, you've simply settled into the humdrum existence. Ooh. Wouldn't you love to wake up, shake things up, and feel some passion again? Consider these strategies to dump up. Maybe that 2:30 in the morning wake up call did affect the brain this morning. Consider these strategies to pump up the joy, interest, and excitement in your life. Number 1, do at least one activity you enjoy each day. We've all heard the saying about all work and no play. Life can get pretty boring pretty quickly if all you do is work and come home and only to flop down in front of the TV. There are so many people out there that do this. In other places in the world, the US is the only place I know of where you live to work. Think about that. You live to work. Other places in the world, we work to live. They have mastered the art of getting that productive time in, but not having to work the extended hours. So they've other countries in the world, people have mastered the time of when I'm at work, I'm there to work. This is how much time I have. This is what I've got to get done. They get stuck and they get it done. Then, because the sooner they get it done, the sooner they get to go play. Here in America, it's like everybody's busy. Oh, I had a busy day. Yeah, what did you get done? Oh, well, it was just a really busy day. I can sit down and I can tell you that I helped X number of people today. I've got clients that I work for, so I did this for these clients over here. I got them set up with this. I got this set up, that set up. When I'm on the help desk, I got to help this many clients today. I love that sort of stuff. I love being of service. But then when it's time to knock off, I may have some clients that I will continue past my knock-off time because we've got to get this problem solved for them as soon as possible. Anybody that comes to the help desk, they're in some sort of crisis mode. Our job is to calm them down, find the resolution for them, and make their experience a good experience. It doesn't always happen. Some people are just so blocked in their brain that they are so fixated on getting something resolved, even though it's something that cannot be done by the system, they want it done anyway. So you do get those people that you can't satisfy everybody. But the ones that I can help, I feel good about because I've been able to help somebody. And I enjoy doing that. And then as soon as that time comes to knock off, we're off, and it's sort of like, we get to relax for a little bit, maybe take a nap. But a lot of times I'm turning around and I find myself, yes, I get up, I walk around, I stretch. I go sit in the recliner for a bit with my feet up. I may fall asleep for a little bit. Brain gets work to it during the day. But then I come back and it's like, oh, let's go do some genealogy. Oh, and then it's time to do the live, and then we go for a walk and we come back, and that's when the TV goes on. We've had a good, fulfilling day. I've got some genealogy done. So, making sure that you do at least one activity you enjoy each day makes the day go faster. Well, it doesn't make it go faster, but it makes it more enjoyable. And remember, we're wanting to make our life more exciting. So being able to, at the end of the day, do something that you really enjoy doing helps with that. So now my question is, what are some activities that bring you joy? Indulge in doing something that makes you smile, brings out your creativity, or satisfies your yin for a familiar hobby. I have so many hobbies. It is ridiculous. Number 2, vow to read at least 10 pages a day. There's great knowledge, wisdom, adventure, and joy in reading. Whether you enjoy finding out more about topics you love or getting lost in a great adventure, there's something that will perk your interest. You'll find yourself reading more than you ever thought you would. Feast your mind and intellect on the written word. You will like it. I love to read. I devour books all the time. I'm reading a really good book right now about the beginning of the WITSEC program, the Witness Protection Program. It is an awesome book. How it got, the stories behind it, how it got started, and how it improved over the years and everything. A great, great book. So if you're into law enforcement and military type books, this is an incredible book. One book I am listening to on our walkabout in the morning is The Virgin Way by Richard Branson. And he'll say something and I go, oh my God, I've been doing that for years. Really? You guys do that too? So it's here's this guy that's got this massive empire of virgin products. I have to say the funniest one he came up with, which I thought at the time, I thought, it's really kind of a great marketing idea. But the name, they had to change the name. It just, you're out walking the dog, and he comes up with, and he tells you what the name was going to be. And I was just sort of laughing like crazy, and getting some strange looks of people peering out their windows and what on earth is going on out there. But I think one of his craziest ideas, especially with the name, was virgin condoms. I thought that was hilarious. It really just tickled my funny bone, and I had a really good laugh, which of course I love to laugh anyway. So it just made that day a little bit brighter. So start reading things. I'm listening to that book, and yes, it's a non-fiction book, and yes, it's an autobiography, but it's also about the leadership. It's the Virgin Way. It's how he runs his companies, how he treats his employees, how he listens to his employees. He's down there on the work floor with them. It's just an incredible thing, and I'm sort of like, oh my gosh, some of these leadership skills I've been doing for years and never realized it. It just made sense. Now, some of his things are a little out there, and I'm like, you got away with that? Okay. But, his thing was to go in completely unaware of what they were doing and figuring it out. Say yes, and then go figure it out. That's what he's always known for. I had a really dry throat this morning. Must have been that wake-up call at 2:30 in the morning. But anyway, get some books and get reading, whether it's fiction or it's nonfiction, whatever. If you've listened to me, at night I read romances because they're the same formula. It just helps me shut the brain down so I can get to sleep. So boy meets girl, they fall in love, they break up, they get back together again, end of story. Same formula. And it's very easy just to read a paragraph, put the Kindle down and go to sleep. Or, maybe I'll read a chapter and then go to sleep. But that's my end of day thing because it shuts the brain down. If I read, and I have tried this so many times, right? They say we should be reading these types of books when I go to bed. We're going to read these books before we go to sleep because I know my brain needs to have that distraction in order to start shutting down. But I find that my brain, and I persevered with this for over a month. And I have tried it numerous times over the years. For over a month, I tried reading different personal development books or biographies or autobiographies and stuff like this. I tried reading the nonfiction books before going to sleep. And I tried it every night for a month. I'm like, no, this is going to work. It is going to work. This is my reading time before I go to bed. The brain is going to shut down. I am going to go to sleep. So I wasn't putting the negative in there. I was putting the positive in there that I am. So I was saying these I ams for 30 days straight. I had the worst night's sleeps ever. Because I figured it takes 28 days to create a habit and 28 days to break a habit. So we're going to start the habit of reading nonfiction when we go to bed. And at the same time, we're going to be breaking the habit of reading the romance before we go to bed. 30 days straight. I started on the 1st of the month. Actually, it was the 31st because I ended on the 31st of the month. That was the worst month I had ever slept. I was like, damn it. And I was determined. I am going to read this. I am going to fall asleep. I am going to enjoy it. My brain is going to shut down. I am going to go to sleep. I was telling myself this every single night. And I get there and I'll start reading somebody's biography, or I'd start reading a personal development book. And what happened? My brain suddenly went, oh, boom, 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 and my pen and paper would come out and I would just start writing down ideas. And trying to go to sleep after that, it just was not happening. It was not happening. The night, and I kept going, I am determined to do this. And so I got to the 31st and I thought, I have done this for 31 days straight. And I can't sleep. I was scratchy. I was feeling, getting really tired. And I couldn't, and I was trying to figure out why. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been reading this stuff. My brain's been getting active. It wouldn't go to sleep. And I was so like, out of desperation that night, I went home, picked up a romance novel, read like the first paragraph, put it aside, boom, I was out. I got a good solid night's sleep. So I thought, okay, I'm basically reading trash before I go to sleep because it helps me sleep. And then I was like, how can I start tweaking that? How can I slowly, maybe it was going cold turkey was the problem. So let's try a hybrid of this. We'll read a page or two out of the biography or the good book, out of the biography or the self-development book, write down our ideas, then let's read a page from the romance novel. So we started doing this hybrid and started off with I started off with one page first out of the nonfiction, 3 pages out of the fiction book, and slowly started transitioning until it was the other way around. Yeah, that didn't work either. Whenever I read nonfiction books of any type, and I'm like, maybe I should start reading a physics book or a math book or the tax code or something. I have a friend who reads the tax code every night before she goes to bed. But then also that would just piss me off. Be honest, it would just piss me off. The fact that I would even go into a store and find a book like that to read. Are you serious? Absolutely not. No way was that going to happen. But so I have tried different techniques to try and bring in the nonfiction books at night, the biographies, the autobiographies. I have tried those at night, and they just fire my brain up, and my brain just starts running with ideas. So those books I read during the day when I need inspiration. I will start my day off with those books happily until I will happily start my day off with the books, of the biographies, the nonfiction books. Happy to do it. Happy to read them throughout the day. Sitting here having lunch, reading a book. Happy to do it then. The only time I pull the romance out at night is when I go to bed. Otherwise, I will read everything else during the day. I can't even read adventure books. I can't read mysteries. I can't read military action books. I can't read thrillers. I can't read any of those at night because it fires my brain up. The romance are the only ones that put my brain to sleep. So, but I will read any other book any time of the day because it fires my brain up and it keeps my brain active. So read. You learn so much when you read. Totally got off track. Maybe we should leave the other three until tonight. Okay, we can get through these three real quick. Allow yourself to daydream. Maybe you want to travel to France, or you'd really like. This is number 3. So number 1 was number 1. Number 1, do at least one activity you enjoy each day. Number 2, vow to read at least 10 pages a day. Number 3, allow yourself to dream. Maybe you want to travel to France, or you'd like to take a stab at writing the great American novel. Close your eyes and let your mind go wild. If money was not an object, if time was not an issue, what would you do? Where would you travel? What was we're coming out of the great pause at the moment. So places are starting to open up. People are starting to travel more. Where is the first place you want to travel to? What do you want to go and see and do there? A lot of people are traveling to visit with family and friends they haven't been able to see in the last 2 years, type of thing. So where do you want to travel first? What do you want to see? What type of novel would you like to write? What would your characters be like? I have character profiles up the wazoo. I keep, every now and again I get the virtual tap on the shoulder going, oh, there's my car just drove past. It's like, okay, who are you? All right, we'll put that down as your car. Things like that. And don't you think it'll be better in this color instead of that color? And so we have conversations with the characters. Indulge yourself in your dreams. They might spark ideas that you can start making concrete plans for. Never be afraid to dream. Never be afraid to let your mind go wild and just go and dream. Like, you have unlimited resources. What do you want to do? Number 4, be honest with yourself about your strong points. When you do, you'll be compelled to move forward to create a life you truly enjoy. Provide yourself with opportunities to engage in things you do well or even excel at. So make a list of what are your strengths? What are your strengths? What tasks are you really, really good at? And what are your strengths? How can you bring the two together and create magic? When you show a talent for something, it's usually something you enjoy as well. I love research. I like to know things. You want to investigate things. There's times it's like, oh yeah, I must remember to look that up later. And no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to pull out the phone and we'll look it up right now. Spending more time in these activities will enhance your confidence and help you banish boredom for good. So excellent. I don't think I really get bored these days now. But a puppy that keeps me entertained. I love to read. I love watching movies. I love doing research on genealogy. So it's sort of like, what do I have to be bored about? Number 5 is, so hang on, I'm going to do a recap here. Number 1, do at least one activity you enjoy each day. Number 2, vow to read at least 10 pages a day. Number 3, allow yourself to daydream. Number 4, be honest with yourself about your strong points. And number 5, return to doing something you did in the past. For example, if you used to take part in dance contests, you haven't danced in years, you might be interested in dancing again. Something that brought you happiness once before can vastly enrich your life again. Challenge yourself and relish in all the things you loved about the activity all over again, rediscovering your passion for something you loved before you can spark new excitement now. And I thought about this when I read this, and I thought, I always used to love coaching gymnastics. I did. I coached gymnastics from the time I was 13 till I was 23. I loved it. I loved waiting for the Tuesdays or the Thursday, depending which club I was at, whether it was a Tuesday night or a Thursday night. I loved those nights. I could come home from school, have a quick snack, and then I was off down to the gym. Mum would always leave dinner for me in the refrigerator, and I would come home, have something for dinner, and then I would walk down back to school, because that's where the gymnasium was that we used for the gym club. And I would get in there and start setting up all the equipment. I would get out the big tumbling mats by myself, these big green rolls. You just tip them over and roll them, and then you had to but you had to flip them over, because you had to roll them so the top side was out. Those things were not light. But I managed to get a lot. You'd be surprised at how much equipment you can put up by yourself. It was amazing. But we also had that the school knew the gym club was going to be in there, and there was certain equipment like the bars, the uneven bars that we had. They would get them set up for us, because it would take 2 to 3 people, and you had to know what you were doing to make sure they were put up correctly and the tension was right. So they had a crew that would actually go in and set them up for us before we got there. So I just had to put out the mats, the vault, the springboard, and things like that. And they had equipment that required wires. They were already set up for us. And then I would do my own exercise routine before everybody arrived. And, I was there probably an hour before the class started, get everything set up, do my own routine, and then start welcoming the kids as they came in, getting them sorted into their groups so they could start their evening. I loved doing that. And then I screwed up my wrist, and that is what's prevented me from coaching gymnastics since then. I was so upset and so annoyed. I actually went cold turkey on coaching gymnastics. And I was a certified judge. I'd been through judge certification classes, and I enjoyed doing that, because it was one step, because then I could also be an examiner as well for the badges and all that sort of stuff, go into other gym clubs and do the exams for the kids to move up to different levels and things, because you couldn't have somebody from your own gym club do it. You had to have somebody from another gym club come in and do that. And I could have very easily slipped into those roles of being an examiner and a judge, but I was so upset because of my wrist injury. I could no longer teach kids gymnastics because I couldn't spot them safely, that I went completely cold turkey. It was like 10 to 12 years before I would even bring myself to watch gymnastics on TV again. I went cold turkey. But I really do miss coaching gymnastics. But with a wrist injury and not having that strength in my wrist, yes, I've got this upper body strength I didn't have before. I've got strengths in other areas in my body that I didn't have before. I'm also out of shape right now. But knowing I have that wrist injury and I could end up injuring a kid, that's what prevents me from going back. But no reason why I can't go back and get back into things like being an examiner or a judge. I could do that, but I have my genealogy now, so I'm kind of enjoying that. But anyway, and plus I'm not as flexible as I used to be either. I used to show kids what to do, didn't have them teach me. That was fun. So, challenge yourself to relish in all the things you loved about the activity all over again, rediscovering your passion for something you loved before it can spark, rediscovering your passion for something you loved before can spark new excitement now. So take responsibility now to jazz up your life. You'll build a fulfilling, enriching life when you turn your focus to your off-work hours. Immerse yourself in activities you've pined for, dreamed about, or loved in the past. And the exciting life you deserve is just around the corner. That was very long. That took a lot of time to read it. I'm sorry, but that was 5 ways that you can make your life more exciting. So what I'm going to do is, yes, because I talked so much through this, if you would like a copy of this article, the 5 easy ways to make your life more exciting, if you would like a copy of this article, go to the link that is currently scrolling across the bottom of the screen here, where you can enter into a free drawing to win one of these incredible tumblers, these insulated tumblers that come personalized and engraved, laser engraved with your name on them. If you want to win one of these, we have a free drawing. Go to havetowin.com. You will not only receive a free copy of the Family Tree Decoded, you'll also receive the article, What Unicorns Can Teach You About Magic. And I will add in the article I just finished reading you, which was 5 5 easy ways to make your life more exciting. We're going to add that in as well. If you already have Family Tree Decoded and What Unicorns Can Teach You, don't worry. We are going to email this new article, 5 easy ways to make your life more exciting. We're going to email that out to you automatically so that you guys get to get it. So as we add more articles in, if you've already entered the drawing, if you're thinking, I'm just going to wait till the last day, then I'm going to enter the drawing, so then I get everything, don't worry about it. You can sign up now, because as we add in new articles to give away and everything else and add them to your free entry into the drawing for one of these accreditable tumblers, we will email you anything we add to. This is what you will get for free if you sign up for free. So you get to sign up for free to enter the drawing for one of these tumblers where it's personally engraved with your name on it. And then you'll get a copy of Family Tree Decoded, which is an ebook about genealogy, an article called What Unicorns Can Teach You about magic, and 5 easy ways to make your life more exciting. And any other articles we add between now and July 30th. July 30th is the last day that you can enter this drawing. So there's not many names in there right now, so chances are pretty high for those who have entered. Anyway, go out, have a super fantastic sparkling day, and we will catch you guys at 6 p.m. this evening. Hei konera.